woman can have the strong powers.
They can do anything.
The right future and can become a leaders in the sector, for example, like science or math or STEM.
Is to stretch the belief of our girls and before you even head down the path of goal setting or planning their futures, because they can do anything and they need to stretch their own belief too, and then that can set them on that path for success.
Chào mừng quý vị phụ huynh đến kênh podcast I'm Possible của Dr. Tracy Trang, nơi mà Tracy hy vọng các bậc cha mẹ sẽ có một kênh uy tín để đồng hành trên hành trình giáo dục, dưỡng giáo con của chúng ta trở thành công dân toàn cầu. Chúng ta, các bậc cha mẹ, sẽ không mong áp lực con mình trở thành những người siêu phàm mà không phải là chính con. Nhưng chúng ta cùng nhau tìm ra trong những điều bình thường nhất, những điều giản dị nhất của con sẽ chứa đựng những điều phi thường và giúp con thành công trong tương lai. Và mình là Dr. Tracy Trang, đồng hành cùng với cha mẹ trong chương trình này. Các bạn biết không, hôm nay chúng ta có một khách mời quốc tế vô cùng đặc biệt, đó là cô Jo Matherson. Cô Jo Matherson là một trong những nữ lãnh đạo của trường nữ sinh hàng đầu bang Queensland, nước Úc. Nơi đây là lò đào tạo ra những nữ sinh xuất sắc nhất trong nhiều cương vị lãnh đạo và nhiều ngành khác nhau. So hi Jo, it's so nice to meet you today.
Tracy, it's lovely to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm the principal of Moreton Bay College in Brisbane, Manly West in Brisbane. I've been involved in all-girls education for more than 20 years across both New South Wales and Queensland. So I've been involved in single-sex independent schools for a very long time. I'm also a parent of girls and boys as well, and so I know that from the parent perspective as well. Our children are our most important things to us.
And so in your family, are there any different by raising the daughters and raising the sons?
All four of my children are so different. Even though my boys are twins, they are very, very different children. And so I think we've needed a different approach for each of them, actually.
How different is that?
Yes. Some of them are very determined and very articulate. So two of them are that way. And so will speak often and challenge. The other two are quieter and tend to keep their thoughts to themselves a little bit more. And so I think we've had to draw out conversation with them a little bit more, and to understand what they're thinking is a little bit more difficult. But they've all chosen their own pathways in the end, obviously with some guidance. And, I think in the end you just want your children to be content. I think I prefer the term content than happy. We can't be happy all the time. We all have our ups and downs, but being content is something that we can all aspire to. Yeah. And so, that's part of the ups and downs of life, I think. And so, contentment for them and feeling that they are contributing to their society and that they have family and community around them is really important.
I'm going to learn from you. We can tell. Yeah. So, what is the gender equality mean in your family? So, is it, and it's also in your culture? How usually people say like woman equality or woman liberation or gender equality. What exactly it mean for you, your family, and your culture?
Yes, well, I think in our culture it's quite varied, and we're a very multicultural country, Australia as well, and so I suppose it's hard to make a statement that is a blanket statement about Australia, whether you're speaking about Australians that have been in the country for a number of generations, or our newer Australians, or those Indigenous Australians that have been there for many thousands of years. It's very different answer. Across the different cultures that we have, and also the different areas within Australia, whether you're talking about those that live in the cities or those that live in the country too. It's such a diverse country in that way. And I think, there are still steps to be taken in our laws and our policies and our practices so that there is true equality. There is still a gender pay gap in Australia as one example. And although pay rates are the same for men and women, in practice there's still that gender pay gap because of career opportunities and and those sorts of things as well. So there's still work to be done in that space in Australia. In my family, we all do all things. There aren't really gender roles. My husband is an excellent cook, and he does a lot of the cooking, which is wonderful. And we've always demonstrated that for our children as well, and really tried to model that there aren't household jobs for the men or the women necessarily. And so we hope that they carry that forward.
That's interesting. Yeah. In my family, my little boy, he always said that at least in not an equality family. I was like, why? Because in here we do so much woman favor. Like, what happened? What happened with you? He said that because in this house, men had to do everything. And then a woman in this house always says, women have to be strong. Women can have the strong powers. Okay, so I think the words now today have been changing, and there's some example like girls' school gonna be a great strategies, great solutions, and evidence to show that girls have the right power, the right future, and can become a leaders.
Yes.
I love that. I love the girls' school very much. I want to ask you a question. For example, is there any time in your experience with your daughters that you want them to be like a doctor or a teacher, but they said, I only want to be a farmer, or I want to be a miner?
Yes.
So what happened, and then how to solve the conflict among daughters and mom?
Yes. It's interesting you asked that question. My background is I'm a science and maths teacher, and my children didn't study science in years 11 and 12 when they had the choice, really. My oldest daughter, she did some chemistry and for a little while, but then moved away from that. And my other daughter, she did some biology, but wanted to become a primary school teacher, and so that's why she did that to cover that component of that course. But that wasn't going to be their pathway. And I think it's about having the conversation with your daughter to find out what her interests are, but then how she can progress those interests. My oldest daughter is very creative, and she started doing a creative industries course at a university in Brisbane. But there are some STEM units there, so there are coding units and those sorts of things involved in that course as well. And she realised then that she did enjoy that, so she's blended all of that together in her career now. And so she's involved with engineers and with marketing people in her industry to bring those together. So I think you can have success in whatever career you choose, and no matter what it is. And I really think it's about making sure that they're choosing subjects along the way that give them challenge, no matter what their interests are, but following those interests to lead them down the pathway that is the right one for them.
That's interesting. Yeah. But is there any case that if the child, they pick up a sector or a major that's really it's really not suit with their ability or not suit with their character, and of course mom and dad are the one who so close to them, and we identify that, and we need to convince them to think different way.
Yes.
So if you are in this situation, what would you do?
Yes, I think it's a long conversation. It's not a quick conversation in those situations, and it takes time. But I think in Australia we find giving independence to our children is very important, and for them to make decisions. So asking lots of questions is really important to progress the conversation, rather than making statements can be helpful, so that you are understanding the child's perspective, and it helps you understand where they are coming from to help guide that next question, which then might make them think of their own questions and wonder why they are following the path that they are, and really ensuring that they're thinking very deeply about it before they continue down that pathway. And the questioning can guide the thought process, and give independence, and allow the students to make a decision, or your children to make a decision along the way, and feel like that they've owned that decision as well.
Yeah, and no matter what, when they choose the decision their own, they're gonna be responsible.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they have to make it work. And if it doesn't work, it's their responsibility too. So then the questions are, well, you've hit this stumbling block. What next? Where to now, and what are the next steps in this? And it's very important that, and what have you learnt from it? If they've made a mistake, is really important too. And that's something that I think we really value in Australian education, is not just looking at what the results are, but what those skills that they've developed along the way. And if they haven't succeeded at something, they've still learnt things. So it's really important to identify what they've learnt along the way and where they might do something differently next time.
I think I picked some really famous quote today when you're talking about, so Australian parents, they don't focus in results, but about the skill and the lesson learned are more important. Can you clarify more about this?
So I suppose what we try and do with our students is to ask them those questions to make sure that they understand the situation and why they might be in that situation. So if they have made a mistake, or they hit a stumbling block, or they haven't received a result that they might have expected or we had hoped for, looking back at leading up to that situation and determining where they might do things differently, and them making that decision about what's next. So it's giving them the agency to decide how they might do that differently next time. Or if you're not yet at the point of receiving an academic outcome, planning then how they're going to get to where they get to. But them making the decision and doing the actions is really important.
I think I picked some very valuable lessons today. We different mindset actually, or we different mindset because we come from different cultures.
Yes.
So I make the mistake sometimes because most of the time I really worry my children make the mistake or my student make the mistake, and I think most of the Vietnamese parents act the same way. So, for example, we want our children listen to us, and sometimes because we tell them that your parent living longer than you, and we already make that mistake, so we don't want you to be in the same situation. So we try to cover them, we try to protect them, maybe not in the right way, but we forget that the young people, your young students, have the chance to make mistakes and learn from that and stand up from that. So we need to change our mindset after our discussion today.
It's not easy as a parent not to tell your children what to do. It's a hard thing to do, and parenting is learning too, isn't it? We make mistakes as parents as well, and we need to learn from that as well, and do things differently next time.
You come from girls' school, and you are one of the leader and have plenty experiences for many girls' schools. What is the reason keep you so long, in this sector?
I'm very passionate about girls' education. I believe it sets them up the best way for their future. Girls' schools really want the girls to be independent learners. They want them to grow in an environment where there is challenge, where they see girls in every single role, and they see girls succeed in everything that a school offers.
My first question, and as a mom as well, I wonder why girls' school is the one at the moment, like the top performing school like Moreton Bay College.
Yes.
Why it produces so many leaders in the sector, for example, like science or math or STEM for girls?
Well, I really think it develops leadership capacity in girls, and there have been studies, particularly through the International Coalition of Girls' Schools, which tells us that girls are more confident from a girls' school background. They do see those opportunities. The students there see leaders in every aspect of life. All the leadership positions are held by girls, so they can imagine from a very young age themselves being in those positions when they're in the younger year levels, to aspire to that. And we often hear that when we speak to our Year 12 students who are taking up their leadership positions, that they always admired other students before them in those roles, and it really encouraged them to pursue those leadership opportunities.
Wow. Do you, in your experience, do you meet any girls that, for example, the first time you meet her, didn't know exactly what she liked about or how the future looked like. But when she studied in your school for a while, and she dream bigger, or she want to become or do something that she, she hadn't want to do it before.
Yes, we do. And we have some students who come from our primary school who might already have some good confidence but are not sure yet which pathway they want to follow. And we encourage them to explore all of those pathways when they are in their younger years of secondary school, so that they are then able to try different things. And they might not be successful, but we support them through that and make sure that if you stumble, that's okay. What do we now need to do next, and support them through those next steps. So it's something that we really encourage in our students, so that they can find their way and be comfortable in who they are. And in girls' schools, the students around them really support them in developing who they are going to be and what their interests are going to be. So that's something that we see grow all the time. And there's such a diversity of students that we have in our school. Students who love everything, and it's always encouraged.
But there are some students, they look really normal. They're not good as academic, but maybe they're good at something, in QTS we met them, and maybe they really good at writing, but they don't show out. Or they really good at caring for people, but they don't show out. So we call them, they call them impossible person. Like I cannot do anything, but we call them impossible person just because you don't identify, the strength of you are and what you want to do until the day we find out. Can you give some advice of the impossible student, how to become impossible student?
Okay.
Like some normal student, but one day they're gonna become extraordinary student. Yeah. But that's why they need the school, right? They need the school. They do.
They do. And, for me, that comes down to exploring interests through co-curricular activities and in the classroom. Because if you involve yourself in co-curricular activities and the breadth of them, you will find what you're good at. And if you go to a school, and that's why in independent schools there's the advantage of the breadth of co-curricular activities compared with Australian government schools, then there are those opportunities there, and you can try all sorts of different things as well. And at Moreton Bay College we have such a wide range of subjects as well that students can choose from and explore right from year 7. So even our technology subject, it's not just IT and computers and software products and coding. It's design, and there might be some fashion units and some hospitality units as well, and exploring those areas too. So within the subjects in the classrooms, there's a lot of opportunity to explore a really wide range of things. And we do in Australia have students who do not know what their path is until a little bit later on as well. And we find that, one day there's that light bulb moment where they've joined an activity and that's the one that they really love and really connect with.
And can you also mention about the power of communication? So sometimes the parents don't communicate much with their parents, but they communicate with teachers.
That's
and
right.
we figure out, we discover their strength.
Yes, that's true. And sometimes it can be a teacher that notices something that the child hasn't even noticed themselves yet, and can mention that to them, and that can be the way to their path.
Please tell me why sport and culture and art are so important as an extracurricular to develop the leadership skill and also the study and life balance of the student in school.
Yes, so extracurricular activities are so important to us that we actually call them co-curricular activities because they support the curriculum. They are a very important part, and all of our students are involved in one type of co-curricular or another, whatever their interests might be. And we have students who perform at a very, very high level in the performing arts, in music and in sport.
In Olympic as well.
Yes.
Wow.
But we also have students who choose it for playing for fun and fitness, their sport, and they might learn the social skills as well.
Wow.
All of those things that they learn throughout their co-curricular activities and the determination they may need to have translate into the classroom and then help them to perform better academically. We see that time and time again with our top performing graduates in Year 12. they continue with their co-curricular activities throughout their entire school career. And it shows that the lessons that they learn there really help them with their academic performance.
Wow, that's fabulous. I really love sport. I personally really love sport, and I like different kind of sport.
Yes.
Although my mom, when I was little girl, my mom always say like, the girls should not be acting like that, and sport always for boys.
Oh.
But now you tell me, the benefit of sport, and I understand why. The Western parents encourage their daughters and their son and children like a lot of sport. And especially Australian, they love sport, right?
Oh, Australians will watch any kind of sport and support an Australian team anywhere. We have students who have gone to the Olympics.
Wow.
And our athletics, our head of sport actually competed in the Olympics as well.
Wow.
So we have very high performing students and coaches. So it's really important part of our culture, and it's a very important part of our school. We have excellent sporting facilities all on site. So the students can go to their sport, or if they're involved in other co-curricular activities on site, and then go to school. So it makes it easier for parents and families. And you see it every day. You see as you drive into the school, all of the students involved in their activities, and it's just a great way and an extension of the part of our community.
Wow, that's so great, right? Actually, before we do this podcast, I received some questions from the parents who know that we're gonna do this topic.
Yes.
And they want to ask that, is there some misunderstanding that if students study in single-sex school, gonna imbalance about emotions or life skill or social relationship than students study in mixed school? So what do you think about this point?
Well, I feel that there's a lot of the noise taken away in single-sex schools. There aren't gender stereotypes, so they are completely removed in single-sex schools. So I feel it provides better balance there. We want our girls to be empowered, and we want them to have the same opportunities as boys in their future. So to put them in an environment where they see that opportunity is available to them is really important. Of course, they need to work with and socialise with boys as well. And there has been another recent study done that tells us that girls from all girls schools are equally as confident as boys in the workplace.
Wow.
So, that's a fantastic thing that seems to be coming through as well. I'd also say that there are lots of opportunities for our girls to socialise with boys as well. We have some of our co-curricular activities are co-ed. There's another school nearby that we are very closely related to, Moreton Bay Boys College. So our music programs are actually combined between the two colleges. Some of our sports are as well, and some of our other co-curricular activities. So they have single-sex classes in the classroom, and then they have that co-curricular and social time, and there are other social activities as well with the Boys College. They have both opportunities there, and they certainly mix with the boys as well.
That's awesome. It means that there is still a chance for the boy and girl to interact with each other.
Yes.
But for study, then single-sex school gonna advance for them in terms of method, in terms of the subject that they're gonna learn, depending the change of their gender. Right? That's interesting.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of good advice and opinion. You're doing so well. Yeah, that's so amazing.
The girls' school environment has really given them, I feel, that confidence that they can do anything, and I think that girls' schools stretch that belief, and where girls believe what they can do. And if I was saying anything to your listeners out there and the parents out there, is to stretch the belief of our girls, and before you even head down the path of goal setting or planning their futures, because they can do anything, and they need to stretch their own belief too, and then that can set them on that path for success.
Wow, that's amazing. So both of your daughters come from girls' school?
Yes, 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 they did. They were in girls' schools for most of their schooling, all girls' schooling right through, in two different girls' schools as well, and then they attended university from there. Both in Brisbane, so one attended, they attended different universities in Brisbane, and then have headed off on their career paths from there.
Is most of girls' school in Australia more expensive than a normal school? I mean in terms of the investment from the parents.
Yes. So
Why
we do
that?
have government schools in Australia, and we have independent schools as well. And the independent or private schools are more expensive, and they provide more opportunities, and they also provide those extracurricular activities that you spoke of before as part of their programs. And the independent school sector is really one where it's about holistic education. So ensuring that the students have really solid wellbeing programs. They have many of them. Moreton Bay College, for example, is affiliated with the Uniting Church. So although our students don't need to be of a particular religious denomination, there is strong values education around that. So we're really interested in developing good character students who know who they are, who want to contribute to their societies and be part of their societies, and building the culture around that is really important. And independent schools have that culture with them too. And I would also say that there is a strong network of past students from independent schools once graduates enter the workforce there. And that's a great networking opportunity. And in Australia in particular, you know, that is used very, very widely across the independent sector.
Yeah. It's very good for when you mentioned about the value of the school, because I met with one of the students from your school who almost graduated his high school right now, and he is setting the career goals and university selection really high. So he wants to be an engineer, and he wants to go into the top university in Australia, and also he's looking for other continent as well. So he said to me that when he studied in Vietnam in international school, so usually international school here are the most advanced schools because of their facilities, and also they provide much of resources than other normal school. But the student said to me that even when he studied in the best international school here, they measure the student by the academic performance, like how much rate you score and how much rate you score for each subjects. And it's kind of the main reason for them to measure the student. But when he come to study in your school, not only the value of the academic performance, but the students and the teacher and also all the education knowledge, they value students because of the caring, leadership skill, and many more values. So can you tell us more about, kind of define and measure the student success in your school?
Well, academics is important to us too in Australia, but we believe that you don't just get there by hard study. It is about ensuring that you feel well, and if you feel well, both physically and mentally, then you learn better and you become more engaged. We really feel that if you have a sense of belonging to your community, then you want to give back to that community, and then you become more invested in your success and the success of others. So the students lift each other up around them. We have a pastoral care system where we have students from year 7 to year 12 meeting each morning, and so that meeting group follows through with the students from year to year, so that they get to know students in other year levels as well. So it really builds that sense of community. Our house system, where students from 7 to 12 are in groups that we call houses, they have competitions amongst the houses as well, and it's a hotly contested competition, so they really work very hard to win the house cup.
Wow.
So that's in sport, in music, in debating, and all sorts of different activities that they do. So they build that community, and they see how you can build that community through our school, and so then they know what that sense of belonging feels like, and then that helps them to move into society and build those cultures around the people that they work with and the people that they live with.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. Now I want to ask a very tricky question because you are so expert today, and it's not easy to meet an expert person like this. So what I know is until now, all that I heard from you, I understand the reason for opening a girls' school in Australia or in developed country is to do the empowering woman. So give the chance for leadership, give the chance for independent selection for the future and the success. So it's quite different with the girls' school in our countries and in Asia before in the history, because usually in Vietnam we has been really high affected by Confucianism principle and theory. So in there, the girls had been taught to be like do good thing in her house and be a good wife, be the good daughter, and do something that's suitable for the genders. But seems different for the girls' school in Western countries. So what do you think that Vietnam and also the parents in Vietnam, if we have the daughter, how can we change our mindset? If we want to open the girls' school in Vietnam, how can we do differently?
Oh, that's an interesting question, because in Australia as well, some girls' schools used to be like that as well. And so girls' schools have had to evolve in Australia, and so they were not heading down an academic pathway in the past, but that's not the case anymore. So I think it's about the community that pulls a school together like that, and what their aspirations are, and ensuring that they have staff who have the same mindset. And it's about ensuring that you have a community that's invested in the school, so the parents and those that are supporting the school, that also has that mindset. And it's very much about having student voice as well. The students will do the bidding for the school if they feel empowered and they feel that that is their pathway. That's what they'll talk about, and that's what our students do at our school. They advocate for our school all the time. They love their school. They talk about their school and the opportunities that it gives them all the time. We don't have to do much beyond that, because they do it for us, and they're so articulate, and they're so great at saying where they want to go and what they want to do and what their aspirations are, and how the school has supported them to do that, and what their next steps are.
Wow, so they have the freedom to stand up for their voice.
They do, and we encourage that at every opportunity. Our assemblies are student-led assemblies, so students are speaking all the time, and that's right from primary school. And, you know, we also have our primary students, many of them speaking in their home language as well as in English. So we have those aspects as well for them to become confident in no matter what their background too.
Wow. All what I hear today, to be honest, I really hope that Vietnam gonna have an elite school like that for girls.
Yes.
I can imagine it's like the girls' school for future leaders, you know, and female leaders. That's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely, I hope so. I hope to see it. It'd be wonderful. It really would.
And the last question is, at the moment, what's the best gift do you think you already gave away for your children and make you proud as a mom?
Oh, I feel that they are very independent children that I'm very proud of. They are confident in who they are and comfortable in their own skin, and feel that they can express who they are. They are aspirational in their lives. They want to improve things for the future as well. And so, you know, for me, that's what I'm proud of.
Wow, that's so warm of my heart. So because my children, they, you know, under 12 years old, 10 and 12 years old right now. So I want to wait for maybe next 10 or 15 years at their children age to see what I should tell about.
Yes.
But I think, the most happiness of mom is not like how successful our children are in the society or how much they earn, but how they happy, how they live independent, and they love what they do, right?
Yes, that's right. And I think one of the best parts of being a parent, and you're yet to see this, Tracy, is getting to know your children as adults, and getting to understand who they are as adults. And, you know, I'm very proud of who they are.
So if you meet a mom, like they feel that why their children not successful like others, or they think that the child failed, you know, so do you have any advice for the mom?
Expand your belief about your child's possibilities and give them the independence to explore it.
Thank you so much, Jo.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy.
Quý vị phụ huynh biết không, Tracy nghĩ rằng là hôm nay chúng ta đã cùng nhau học được một điều vô cùng giá trị. cho con gái của chúng ta và hành trình nuôi dưỡng các cô con gái để trở thành những người thành công trong tương lai. Đó là cho dù với bất kỳ một quyết định nào, cho dù con cái của chúng ta thất bại, hãy tin tưởng, hãy động viên, hãy cho các cô con gái của chúng ta biết rằng là chúng ta tôn trọng và chúng ta ủng hộ con, để sau này trên bước đường của con, cho dù con làm những điều bình thường nhất, con cũng sẽ kiên cường và bản lĩnh để trở nên phi thường.